Remember the Alamo by Cynthia McCarthy. Chapter 7, The Battle. Santa Anna's army had arrived 13 days earlier. It was March 6th, 5 o'clock in the morning. I woke up to the sound of a bugle. It was coming from Santa Anna's camp. I heard Buck Trappers cry out, "The Mexicans are upon us!" The battle had begun. My heart started pounding. My eyes got big and I was very scared. Susanna and I rushed out into the plaza. Senora Esparza ran out too, and the sky was just turning light. We heard the thunder of the Mexican cannons. We heard the sound of ladders being flung against the wall. Santa Anna's men were using the ladders to climb over the wall and into the Alamo. We heard the crack of rifle shots. Mr. Crockett told us to go to a small room next to the chapel. It was called the sacristy. I'm going to look in the back because sacristy is a bolded word, so I'm going to check out what it actually is used for. Sacristy, room in a church where sacred vessels and vestments are kept, clothes. This is also where the clergy dresses before religious services. So now I know what a sacristy is because I looked in the glossary, but it also did explain what it was because it said to a small room next to the chapel. So sometimes you can understand unknown words through context clues, sometimes you can look them up, or sometimes you can guess depending how it is written in the sentence. So there they were in the sacristy. He said it was the safest place in the Alamo. The women and children did what Mr. Crockett told us. We huddled together. Susanna held Angelina tightly in her arms. Senora Esparza's 4 children clung to her skirts. We could hear the sound of the battle all around us. Alamo Dickinson ran into the sacristy. His face and arms were stained with gunpowder. He told us that Santa Anna's cannons had blasted a hole in the north wall. Mexican soldiers were pouring in. 2 times our men have forced back Santa Anna soldiers, Mr. Dickinson said. But it's hopeless, he continued. There are just too many of them. More and more are coming all the time, and we're almost out of ammunition. Mr. Dickinson grabbed his wife's hand. "Take care of our daughter," he said, and he turned to me. "Addie, your father said to tell you that he loves you." Mr. Dickinson ran back to join the battle. The women looked at each other. Some of us cried. Senora Esparza prayed. All of us were afraid for our men and for ourselves. All at once, there were no more rifle shots. The cannons were silent. From outside, we heard the Mexican soldiers cheering. They said, "Viva Santa Anna! Viva Santa Anna! Long live Santa Anna!" We knew then that the battle was over and we had lost.